Last fall, Mary and I spent a weekend at two of our favorite Kentucky spots, Natural Bridge State Park and Red River Gorge. They're located in the Daniel Boone National Forest, about 45 minutes east of Lexington, along the Mountain Parkway. Natural Bridge is a stone archway formed by years of erosion. Visitors can reach the top of the arch by either a steep winding trail or by a leisurely ride up a sky lift. Mary and I had hiked to the top on previous visits, but decided to take the sky lift on this trip. All right, we're headed up the sky lift at Natural Bridge State Park in Slade, Kentucky.
Woo-hoo.
It's a long trip. It's awful peaceful. It's a pretty nice day. It's cloudy, but at noon it's in the mid 60s, so not bad at all. We've had some showers overnight, and the woods just smell awesome. The cost for the sky lift is very reasonable. A round-trip ticket is only $17 for adults and $14 for children. And they also have discounts for seniors and military. It takes about 20 minutes to reach the top, and the scenery along the way is beautiful. This is the view that greets you as you step off the sky lift and onto the arch itself. This was the peak weekend for fall colors, and it's easy to see why Natural Bridge is such a popular spot. The rocky outcropping that you see here is known as Lover's Leap. One of the benefits of hiking the trail to Natural Bridge is the views of the underside of the arch that you get along the way. Those that have taken the sky lift can still see the underside of the arch by going down a set of stone steps. By the way, these steps are known as Fat Man Squeeze. Can you tell why? After spending quite a bit of time on top of Natural Bridge, Mary and I got back on the sky lift for the trip down the mountain. It can seem a little scary as your chair goes over the edge, but the view is so breathtaking that you soon forget your fears. By the time we got down off the sky lift, Mary and I were just about ready to call it a day and get something to eat. We had a room at the Red River Gorge Inn just down the road. This is where we normally stay when we're in the area. It's clean, affordable, and the staff is great. After checking in, we enjoyed a pizza in the room, then settled down to get a good night's sleep. The next morning, we set out to explore Red River Gorge, roughly following the yellow route on this map. It was a cloudy day with showers in the forecast, but that didn't dampen our spirits at all. Our first stop was a place called Chimney Top Rock, which offered spectacular views of the gorge. To get to Chimney Top, you have to drive a rough gravel road for 5 miles, then make a quarter-mile hike to the lookout point. The view from Chimney Top makes the effort to get there worth every bit of it. You can literally see for miles. Now, as I mentioned earlier, we were there at the peak of the fall colors. Even though the colors were not as vivid this year as others, it was still a spectacular sight. Depending on how many stops you make and how many locations you take the trails to see, it is very possible to spend an entire day just driving around the gorge. There's several overlooks, arches, and other points of interest that are either right on the road or a short walk from a parking area. Our next stop was at Devil's Canyon Overlook. This is a really great stop as it is right off the road leading to Sky Bridge. If you look closely at the cliffs in the distance, you can see a few semicircular notches cut out of the cliff sides where I suppose water must have pooled eons ago when the gorge was being formed. As our day went on, the showers that the weatherman had promised showed up. Even though it was a gentle rain, it was steady, so we began to limit our stops. As you drive around the gorge, you're descending into it, eventually reaching the bottom and the Red River itself. This is the Red River, which winds its way through the gorge like a snake. If you listen, you can hear the rain gently falling through the trees as we took this video. This particular spot is a favorite of Mary and I. We'd fished here on an earlier trip with some success. There are bass and crappie in the river, and if you're lucky, you might even snag a trout. As we made our way out of the gorge and back to the mountain parkway, there was one more thing to see. The Nada Tunnel was dug in 1910, originally as a railroad tunnel. When the rail line was closed, the rails were removed and a road was laid in its place.
How the rock is. One lane tunnel, turn on your lights. Okay, let's hope nothing's coming. Yep, there's something coming. We gotta back up, back up, back up. Something's coming through the other side, and something's behind him. There's a one lane tunnel, so you have to wait. Traffic to come through that side, and if you see anything else coming, you got to toot your horn and let them know you're coming to. Ooh, this is just a little bit of a tight squeeze.
This is an old railroad tunnel.
It's an old railroad tunnel. Yeah, it's just a little hairy. Don't think you want to go through here with a wide load. It's only wide enough for one vehicle, and even then it's hairy. Woo! Now that was a little bit of an adventure. There you go. We made it through. That was pretty cool. All right, we're back out on the road.
Even though the rain Sunday caused us to cut our trip short, Mary and I still had a great time at one of our favorite places in Kentucky. If you get the chance, the Red River Gorge area is a great place to spend a day, a weekend, or even a week. See you next time.